Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I thought I would break down, is it worth owning your own chickens for eggs? It is a big thing in the media that I'm seeing at the moment that egg prices are going sky high, the highest they've ever been. And if you don't know, this is because of the current bird flu that is around the world. And I believe because of this, a lot of the farms that sell eggs are struggling to meet that demand. I know that it does depend on where you live, does depend on the price of the eggs. If you want to own chickens for the sole purpose of having your own eggs and you want to save money, in short, you will not ever save money by having your own chickens just for the eggs. It is not worth it. They cost way more than what you would save than if you just bought them, even with the prices of eggs going up. However, if you look at owning chickens from a more holistic point of view, then there's some wiggle room there. So this is our chicken setup. We have currently 3 chickens. We, back in April, rescued or adopted, I guess, these 3 chickens from a woman who was going back to university and could no longer care for them. We got the coop, which new would cost a fair few £100s if you were buying that coop new, and we got the first run. The 3x2 meter run with that. We got our 3 chickens, the coop and the 1 run, and all the chicken wire, and all of the bits and bobs like the grit and the food and the leftover bedding and the cleaning products for £150, which was very, very cheap. If you were to buy the chicken coop alone without the run, it would have been about £200. And then as well as that, if you were to buy the first run, it was another about £200–300 for that one. We also have an automatic door on our coop, which would have been a few £100s. I would also, if you are getting chickens, I would highly recommend an automatic door. It is life-changing. As well as all of the grit and cleaning products and all of these other bits, at least another £50 that we got. So then we also bought the second run once we had them for a few months. I think that was another £100 I managed to find on sale. So just the setup alone should have cost us over £500, as well as all the chicken wire. The amount of chicken wire we also got from the lady would have cost another probably £100 or so, because we got the chicken wire for all along the side of the run, as well as the back of the garden. We've used the chicken wire to block off the vegetable patch. But the setup that we specifically have would have cost us probably £500–600, and then you have to either rescue or buy the chickens as well, not including any of the maintenance costs that come with chickens. We managed to get the chickens and the setup, if you include the run that we bought, so for about £250 we got the setup we have because we got it all secondhand. You have to first add in the setup costs. Yes, you can go and get a very cheap coop and let your chickens free range. However, at least in the UK, it is currently illegal to do that because of, or it's not allowed. I don't know the legalities, please don't hold me to this, do your own research. But you need to have your chickens undercover, so you can't just have a little cheap coop and let your chickens roam at the moment. It is not allowed. Just the setup alone is going to cost you a fair bit if you want to do it safely and properly. If you're out in the sticks and you've got a lot of land, your setup is obviously going to be very different. But if you are in a village and you have a garden and you need specific space for your chickens, then this type of setup is going to cost you a fair bit. You can obviously look secondhand and save money, but that's just the setup alone. Then you've got the maintenance costs of keeping your chickens. So I would say for our 3 chickens, we spend on food about anywhere between £10 and £20 a month. It depends on a few things. If you're feeding your chickens food from the garden, or if you're feeding scraps from your house. So you know, if you live in the UK, you are legally not allowed to feed your chickens scraps if you eat meat in your house and you have it in your house. Because we have a mostly plant-based vegetarian household, we are able to feed our our chickens scraps. But you can bring your food shopping bill down by letting them roam and dig and scratch around and are free range. They're gonna eat a lot of food from your garden, lots of bugs and greenery, which will subsidize their eating. So it's not just the pellets, as well as one thing we do that most people are very confused and shocked by. So if you don't know, I was a very strict vegan for 7 years. However, since having chickens, what I've loved about it is the give and take relationship that I have with them. I wanted chickens because I wanted pet chickens, not because I wanted eggs. One thing I've always wanted has been pet chickens. which people find very strange because most people who get chickens want them just for the eggs. But we got the chickens not because we wanted to eat the eggs, we weren't actually planning on eating the eggs, but we wanted them as pets. When I got the chickens, I saw this amazing give and take relationship that we look after them, we feed them, we care for them. They give us some of the eggs, but what we also do is we actually feed some of the eggs back to them as well. If you don't know what an egg is and you think that's carnivorous, no, if you do not have a rooster, all an egg is a hen's period. And if you don't know, back hundreds of years ago, when women would actually have babies, it would be normality to eat their placenta to regain the strength from afterbirth. It's very similar with chickens and their eggs. So we have 3 chickens, they lay 3 eggs roughly a day, give or take. In the winter, it's of course a bit less. So we get 3 eggs a day. We take 2 and then we generally feed 1 back to them. And that helps give them all of the protein and nutrients they need to keep laying eggs. Laying eggs takes a lot of effort for chickens. Imagine giving birth every single day. It's a lot of work. Chickens weren't meant to lay eggs every day. However, they have been so overbred so that the chickens we have now do lay eggs every single day. Again, it depends on the chickens you have, but we rescued hybrid chickens, so they have been bred to lay every single day. But that is something we do that also helps save money on food. They actually get some of their eggs back. I've gone off on a tangent. So food is roughly anywhere between £10 and £20 a month. That can differ. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it might even be less. And then you also have their bedding. So this is their big tub of bedding that we get. It's about £20, and in the summer, this will last us months because we only need to put the bedding in the nesting boxes. We don't put it at the bottom of the coop because we just have some vinyl flooring down that we clear off the poo from. So we just put the bedding in the nesting boxes. However, in the winter, it's obviously where we live in the UK, it's very cold. So we put more bedding on the bottom of the coop to help insulate it. And then we put, as you see here, loads of bedding all over the floor of the coop to just try and bring up the temperature, to try and keep it a bit warm. And so we go through that a lot quicker. Generally, the bedding does last us a really long time. So from a month-to-month basis, on an expensive month, it's going to be about £40 owning chickens. On a cheaper month, it's going to be maybe £10. Owning chickens just for eggs, if you do not want them as pets, you will not save money by having chickens, because chickens do need a certain amount of food and everything to be able to maintain the energy to lay eggs. We got chickens as pets because we wanted pet chickens, but also we see our chickens as much more of a holistic lifestyle that we live. Our chickens not only give us eggs, they give us back so much into our garden. All of that bedding we're buying for the chickens, when we clean out their coop, it's about once a month we give it a really good clean, but we do a general clean every week or 2. All of that bedding goes into our compost bin, and all of their poo, all of the scraps and bits, the eggshells, all of that goes into our compost bins. We have 3 compost bins in rotation, and this is our vegetable garden. Where chickens start to make it more affordable is when you use them as a holistic approach in your life. So the chicken bedding goes into our compost with the poo, with the eggshells, and makes us some really nutrient-dense compost, which we then are able to fill up our raised beds and grow food. It's this beautiful cycle. For having chickens, we were really struggling to make enough compost to maintain our needs. Since having chickens, our 3 compost bins fill up so well and so quickly and make us such good compost. To fill up my raised beds, it cost us hundreds of pounds to fill up with compost because we just couldn't make our own. That is where having chickens balances more out. If you want to start growing your own food, that is when chickens become more affordable. I would just want to say now as well, if you're thinking of getting chickens but you do not want them as a pet, please do not get chickens. Chickens are a pet just like a dog is your pet, or just like a cat is your pet. They still need attention, they need love, they're not just egg machines. And all chickens have such a different personality. Although I don't believe if you just want chickens just for the eggs, you will not save money. However, if you want chickens because you want them as a pet, or because you want them as a holistic approach to your lifestyle and gardening, it gives you more balance. Like, our dream is to one day, who knows, house prices are just so insane, this might never happen, is to have a similar sized house to what we have, but we would love a few acres of land and then have way more chickens. If you can have way more chickens, then it can potentially work out cheaper because you're getting more eggs, and you can do things like, I know a lot of people who have had chickens, they went and got a second-hand shed from Facebook Marketplace for free, and they've turned that into a chicken coop, and then they just let their chickens free roam their acreage. So all you need then is the to turn a free shed into a coop, which can cost you next to or nothing, where they sleep, and then you just let them roam, and then you just have to pay for their food, grit, and like any bedding. If you have a lot of chickens, then I can see how it becomes more affordable. If you just want a couple of backyard hens like what we have, then you won't save you any money. Whereas when you have a lot of chickens, you can use the eggs that you need, sell others, and you can start to make a bit of money back. People will pay more for organic, free range, like backyard hens, because they know where it's come from and they know what has been fed to them chickens. However, where we get 3, but technically 2 because we feed one back to the chickens, where we get 2 eggs a day, we do pretty much use them up. Although you might not save money, I would really encourage people to get hens if they're thinking about it and you like animals, because they are a really fun, lovely pet. And especially our chickens, the chickens that we have, we obviously adopted, but the people who had them before us, they got them from chicks and they raised them, so they're really good at being handled and they're really happy being around people. This is all my opinion. People might have chickens and found cheaper ways of looking after them just as well. Please let me know down below. If so, let me know your setups of what you have. If you have chickens, how many you have. Like, I am the crazy chicken lady. I love chickens, and if I could, I would have so many more chickens. I love chickens. That is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe and share and all of that good stuff. And let me know what videos you'd like to see next. And I will see you in my next video, friends. Bye.